is Mark and Charity Mornings.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for Thursday, November the 18th. Here in the Quinte region, holiday season well underway. Santa gets here on Sunday. Festival of Lights began yesterday.
I hear this music and I feel like I should be running around a mall.
Do you feel a little stressed out when you hear it?
No, I feel like I should be shopping.
Okay.
Which we will talk about here
We'll talk about that.
shortly, yes.
We're talking about why doing good deeds over the holidays is actually healthy for you. But first, Mom and Dad, report cards.
They are out this week. I have yet to look at my children's. They don't send the paper anymore. It is online. So we have to log in now,
Right?
and go over our children's report cards, which I need to do today because tonight we have parent-teacher meetings.
Like you haven't had enough to do with Zoom online with education in the last 2 years.
Well, but with COVID, this
I
of
get
course
it.
makes it's
Why
supposed to
print
quote
it?
unquote easier.
Sure, why print it? It's
And-
2021. It should be
yeah.
online.
Yeah. So
Then
I have to do that.
Keep it forever in a chest of drawers somewhere like your grandparents
Well,
did.
and that's the part that's bothersome because now I have to print it off if I want to do that. Whereas before I would just put it in the file folder with the rest of them for the kids to review later in life, as we all do.
Do you have all of their report cards?
So far, yes, up until last year, because again, it started last year with the online.
Should I ask my wife if she's kept all of my children's? Because it never even occurred to me to keep them.
I have mine.
From when you were in school?
Yeah.
You have your report
Yeah.
cards?
Not all of them, but most of them. It's a bin. I have a bin in the basement of schoolwork, report cards my mom kept. She kept a few of them, but I have them. It's hard to get rid of.
Yours is on paper. Mine were on stone. So that's why
Well, then it's a little heavier. It's not as easy to store those away. But the boys certainly, and I keep theirs too. I keep more than I should probably. But yeah, so we've had the discussion with the kids this week. Even though I haven't seen their report cards, I'm fairly confident that I know what's going on and that they would tell me. But I did still ask them, okay, what are the teachers going to say?
I'd rather hear it from you than from
Yeah,
them.
and just give me a heads up here. What am I walking into? If there's anything I need to be aware of,
Yeah.
tell me now. But yeah, so it'll be fine. I already suspect the conversation I'm going to have
Yeah.
with them. So
You
it's
have great
it's
kids.
okay.
They're not perfect, but they're great
I
kids.
do have great kids.
Yeah, it's not going to be like
I am
this. It's gonna be a
realistic
problem.
about how great
Okay.
they are.
Right. And how they interact with other children
Exactly.
in a classroom setting.
I have yet to be shocked, we'll say that,
Mm-hmm.
by what the teacher tells me. But knock on wood, today will be the day. Knock on wood, we'll go in and do that. And here locally in Hastings, Prince Edward as well, the student census continues with the report cards going out. Kind of a report card for the system itself.
Mm-hmm.
Kids get to fill them out and say what they like, what they don't like, what they're missing, what could be a little better. And yes,
you need to ask
are
people.
Are you getting what you need?
Yeah, what do you need from the education system in Hastings, Prince Edward to be the best student and soon to be young adult you can be?
Exactly.
And what a bold project. Now, you've only got a week to do it because you could spend, years working on a project. But they need a good starting point, and that's what this will prove to be.
It'll be very interesting to hear what
They've already
what the
done it
outcome
for
is.
the teachers,
Yes.
which is, do you have everything you need to teach your students? And if not, in what areas could it be improved to make you a better teacher? Mm-hmm. Because it puts a responsibility on them to say, so that's great.
It's a huge undertaking, and I applaud them for doing it.
And then put students
really
the responsibility for their own education in front of them to say, if you do this, I will be better. Great, then we're going to try and do that. And as a result, it's all going to be better for everybody. And that's great. So you've got today, tomorrow, and Saturday, or tomorrow's the last day?
No, tomorrow's the last day.
Last day.
Yep.
On Friday, November 19th.
Yes.
Final day. So get that in there. So that's going on. Okay, holiday season underway. They lit the Christmas tree behind City Hall yesterday.
Kicking off the Festival of Lights.
There it is. And I know that the holiday season is completely underway because Charity's done all of her Christmas shopping. There it is. It's all done.
No, I have not. I thought I was doing so well.
I thought you were done in October.
No.
You were so sure.
I was on a pretty good roll there for a while.
Yeah,
and
that's
I've
why I
dropped
thought,
off. So
boy, you're going to be done by November.
No. But you teased me about that. And I did start earlier.
I'm impressed.
I did start earlier than I normally would, but apparently I am not alone. A new study has come out saying that Canadians, we are embracing the holiday season more than we ever have, including shopping earlier. We want to shop earlier because we've had disruptions with shipments. We are seeing it all over the news. So we want to get it done, and we want to get it done if we can in one go. A lot of people are saying one-stop shopping or a day. You pick it, you go, you get everything done. You make sure you get it early so you have it. And away you go. And we're expected to spend more this year, more so than last year, up 31% over 2020, which I think we expected.
Right.
But even more than pre-pandemic, 8% higher than 2019 we're expected to spend this holiday season. So we do. We want to get out. We want to shop. We want to celebrate. And we want to really spoil those, not just family and friends, but I think everyone, because charitable donations are also expected to increase this year. On average, $150, up over the $87 that Canadians would donate over the holidays in 2019.
Great. There are a lot of great local organizations that do tremendous work at Christmas. We talked to Suzanne Quinlan of the Gleaners Food Bank earlier. They'll be accepting food items throughout the parade on Sunday. And, well, everybody knows what the food bank does, right? Well, maybe not. Do you know that if somebody were to be unfortunate enough to contract COVID-19 and must quarantine at home, the health unit reaches out to the Gleaners Food Bank and asks them to please bring their food over to them. You would assume that a family member would do it on their behalf, but they can't take that chance that it isn't somebody who's on their own, a student that doesn't have family around. They need to ensure that they get food. That falls to the Gleaners Food Bank. Didn't know that. Good on Suzanne Quinlan and the volunteers. So there are a lot of great ways that you can help out the community in ways you're not even sure of. So if you want to up that donation for charities throughout the holiday season, there are a lot of great ones that you can choose. It really falls in line with that American survey that was asked about Thanksgiving, which is a week today in the United States. The number of people who plan on hosting Thanksgiving, because that's always where the movies go bad. The family movies, who wants to host it?
Yes.
Because that's when all the family dynamic goes bad. Close to 50% of people said that they wanted to host this year. I think it was 47%, up from like 38% last year and 41% pre-pandemic. So again, same thing. It's like we've come out of the pandemic. We're on our way. We're not done by any means. But we went through last year and said, you know what? We want to make it better than it was. We're spending more. We're
giving more,
entertaining more. We're giving more. We're doing all the right things that we say the holiday season is supposed to mean, and make New Year's resolutions to do the same into 2022. So that's all good news. But you're not done, eh? You're not done?
No.
You finished? No.
I wonder. I'm not as close to being done as I'd like to be at this point. So I need to pick it up a bit.
Too, when you hear that we're going to spend more money, that maybe we're also going to buy presents. And by presents, I don't mean large wrap presents. I can mean gift cards or on people we wouldn't normally give presents to. I wonder if it isn't just reaching out in your circle a little bit farther.
Well, and I think
that's good too.
More aware of what we're giving. I think there's going to be a lot more
intentional giving,
a lot more thought put into what we give this year as well. And as you said, it could mean extending that circle, thinking, okay, no, you know what? This year I am going to give to so-and-so, or you know what? This person could really use this. I'm going to get, I do think we're going to think more outside the box.
Right.
And a little further.
I would hope I'm going to do that because I haven't actually, I have started. I have stuff from my wife. I shouldn't say that. But I haven't really thought about the gifts with a month ago because nobody's told me what they want. That's the extent of my observations on how my daughter is the best gift giver.
I'd say your family does pretty well all around.
Butter her up in this podcast, but she is a masterful gift giver. And I have to give her props for that because I don't often enough. And I think that bugs her. I mean, the stuff she comes up with is like, where did you, like, that is such a great present. Where did you come up with that? She thinks that way, and I don't think that way, and I don't know why. It's not that I don't think I'm
Well,
generous or that I
no.
don't pay attention, but she can take somebody's interest and
Yep.
circumstance and say, bang, that's the present. And she nails it every year. And I'm embarrassed by it.
Well, but as you said, and not that this is a knock at you by any means, but until they tell you, you look at it as, okay, they've told me they'd like this. Now I'm going to go get it for them because it makes them happy because that's what they've told me. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's great because that certainly helps. But yes, like your daughter, and I applaud people who can do that. I can do that with some people,
Yep.
but there are hard to buy for people where it's like, no, just tell me what you'd like and I will look for something, either that item or something like it to give you because clearly
Yeah.
that's what you want. And that person, I'm sure, would rather have that
Yeah.
than more creative or, I don't want to say thought-provoking, but something outside the box perhaps.
They have a name for those people. They're called partners. They're called spouse. So hard. So hard. After all this time. We've been
See,
together
Wayne says that though
40
too.
years. What do you possibly...
I don't think I'm a hard to buy for person, but he
No.
will tell me. I have no idea. Just please tell me what you would like.
Go buy
please,
something. Wrap it.
Please just tell me what you would like, and I will go get it every year. And I think, really? Okay.
People who can do all of their shopping in one day, that's called
wow.
men. Women, you do
I
such a
applaud you for
marvelous
that,
job.
too.
Yeah, because you're buying for children, for grandchildren, for nieces, for nephews, for your husband's friends on their behalf, right? All of these things that I think of that my wife, there's no way she could do it all in one day. No way she can do it all in one day.
Lists.
And my
You
son,
need lists.
here we go. So that's the difference between my son and my daughter, whom I both love more than life. But when it comes to Christmas, I threw a but in there, so it sounds awful. No, but when it comes to Christmas, I got to get him like somewhere shopping, and I have to bribe him with lunch because I'm afraid he'll wait to the last minute and it'll just be gift
Well,
cards.
and
and
for
it's not that he's
some-
not generous or doesn't
No.
like it. It's an intimidating thing.
I was gonna say, it
for
could
a
just
young
be-
man to Christmas shop.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, it
For
is.
some people, it is.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I have my list and I started early, but there are still moments where I'm like, like is that, and I put it aside. I'm like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. And that could be why I've slacked off these last couple of weeks because other things have come up and we are busier. But it can be very overwhelming because you don't want to disappoint. You want
No,
to make sure.
yeah.
And it's not that you don't care and it's not that you're lazy and it's not these other things. It's just like, oh my gosh.
It is.
I need to, so much I have to do. So take a breath and just pause.
First week of December,
about
maybe
it.
the second, and then we'll go out for lunch.
Yep.
And we'll just try and get 3 or
Yep.
4 presents. Something for me, something for mom, something for your sister.
And when people say what they want, that can alleviate a lot of that stress. So
Mm-hmm.
again, when you say this is what I would like, it's not that they don't want to think about it and get you something themselves. It could just be, you know what, it's too stressful. Just give me an idea what you like and I'll go do it.
Yeah. So good luck, everybody, because we're entering into the holiday season. We will see you at the Santa Claus Parade on Sunday. Charity and I are going to be hosting it on your TV. It will be live.
Yes.
So if
we
you're
got
not able
confirmation
to
on
go,
that.
we weren't sure how they were going to do that.
If they were going to tape it and run it later or
Whether you're going to have to endure an afternoon of NFL
But it will be
football.
live with all the fun
Foibles.
and foibles. That's a good word because my children will be part of this broadcast too, apparently. And
the-
foibles is a good word.
The theme is getting families back together again.
Yes.
That's the theme. And that's kind of a loose theme, the way Susan Walsh mentioned it. It's all about families again and getting together as a community.
Creating the
and-
magic for the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what better way than to have 2 wonderful children on the broadcast? And I don't know in what
And
capacity.
to see Charity
in full mom
grin,
on mode? I've
grin
never seen
through it
that.
all.
Are you going to make the face when you're disappointed but nobody
Well,
can
no,
tell
because
but
we'll be
you?
on TV. I won't be able to make the face.
That I can't wait. Am I allowed to poke the bear a little bit?
I have warned the kids. I have said best behavior, and I said no matter
Yeah.
what Mark says to you
That's
or
not-
tries to, I said because he will.
Yeah,
he will.
I
He'll
will. I
tease.
can't help it.
He'll tease me, and we all got to be.
Yeah.
People are going to be able to see us. I'm sure all families go through that because we've been in other situations. But it is that scenario you think as a parent where it's like, okay, you guys got to be good. You got it. Like, you need to behave. I will get you ice cream after. I will do whatever needs to be done. Just behave. And I sound awful. My kids are wonderful.
They are. They're kids.
But it's
Yeah,
that
they're boys.
there is a side of me as excited as I am for this broadcast, and I am. I love
Mm-hmm.
parades. There is a side of me that's really worried.
Yeah. Well, for for some, and I'm not singling Ben out, for a lot of young boys, every trip out is like going to the arena.
Yeah.
You can't act that way everywhere we go.
No,
like
exactly.
You're at the arena,
and they're going to be kids, of course.
Horsing around with your friends. And it's like, no, this is different. Well, I don't know how it's different. Everything when we go out is like we're going to the arena.
Yeah.
No, you have to be able to do that. Anyway, no, it's going to be great. No, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get out there and enjoy today and tomorrow before a very, very busy weekend. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, we get it up by 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time out of Belleville, Ontario, Canada. Like us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, right off of our social media websites. Back in tomorrow morning with an Ask Me Anything episode.
Oh, yes, Friday.
That will not allow people to cry. You can't ask personal questions.
Yes, last week we made someone cry.
No tears on the Ask Me Anything. But you can text those in right now around the world at 613-962-0955. Enjoy your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.